Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about the day 1, day 2 Atlas passive tree that I'm going to be using to progress my character. Now, I'm going Breach, but before you click off the video, there is now, if you haven't looked at the Atlas passive tree, a way to completely eradicate walls, never have to interact with it again. You don't have to go into a hive. It is only old breach, which are called unstable breaches. Those are the ones where you step inside and monsters come out, and at the end you either kill a boss or rare in the middle. Done. Now, if you don't remember Breach last league on day 1, day 2, people loved this mechanic. And that is not because of the walls. People hated that later on. But the gear, like the amount of good rare gear you got was simply insane, like absolutely insane. And then you also got showered in uniques, the new Foulborn uniques, which only come from the passive tree now. And the currency was like, okay. I'll link both my theoretical passive tree as well as the Pure Ninja page where you can see all the nodes that changed. So on the left, you have the 3.27 tree, and on the right, you have the 3.28 tree in case you want this for anything else. Now let's talk about the Atlas passive tree and all the breach clusters that have been implemented. But the node I talked about in the intro is enemy at the gates. Breach encounters in the maps are always unstable breaches. No defend Aelith, no going into the fortress and being there for like 3 minutes. Some people like that, and if that's what you like, you can go for always hives. It might even be better knowing GGG, maybe because it's clunky, they make it really good. I just don't really care. I want to implement it into my mapping experience, and I think it's also going to work quite well with Mirage, although we don't know exactly how that's going to pan out. But yeah, this is going to ensure that I'm going to get the juicy one, the unstable breach that is finished quite quickly. So that's first. And then the next thing is this will still provide a ton of extra rares from the breach tree. It will provide all the things that it did in the past with Foulborn uniques. And people are saying, well, but they're toning down the drop rate and everything. And I get that, but also way less people are going to do it. It was free last league. This league, you have to spec into it. A lot of people are going to do other things, especially because they have been absolutely they don't like breach anymore because of walls, and they haven't really looked into this. But I think it's actually going to feel quite good. Granted, it also has crazy XP early on, so that's going to be nice for progression. You're probably going to be level 90 in no time. And yeah, there's going to be a ton of meta Foulborn uniques that are going to sell for a lot, so you also have those big ticket items that you could get lucky with. Unfortunately, I don't know the breach tree right now, so I can't really give an outline right here, but I will probably in my day 1 update for my Kinetic Fusel Ballista. Downsides is, and this is always true for leagues that have been implemented for the first time, this might be misbalanced. It might completely suck. Will they do an update day 1, day 2? If it needs a hotfix, I'm not really sure. But I'm willing to take the bullet. And as always, you do have 3 Atlas passive trees. So if this one sucks, you just go to the next one and spec into something safer. Now, the first thing that I'm doing is I'm pathing right up to all the map nodes. That includes shaping the mountain, then shaping the skies, and also up here, shaping the world. Do note that both of these nodes are pretty shit. In fact, they will be often huge downsides. So you want to path around it to grab these 3 points at the top. Do not make a mistake here and path through. Oh, Powell forgot that you can save a point here. No, you can't. So you're going to go through the portal. Now you could also path through here. 2% increased maps found in area. Not really sure how strong this is. I think for endgame, it's going to be ridiculously strong, but I don't know how good that is actually for progression. So maybe that's the way instead of the portals. Not really sure. We'll have to see. But right now, the first thing I'm going to go over is I'm going to beeline to enemy at the gates. And this will make it so I have unstable breaches. At the start, your breaches won't be very juicy because you don't have all the other points. So mostly take them for XP. Other than that, I'm going to take Clawed Open. This one might end up being bad. It makes your breaches a little bit longer, but it does spawn 2 additional rare monsters. Although we then also have faster breaches up here. So Violent Skirmish, breach encounters in the maps are 20% faster. Maybe it's going to be a no to Clawed Open. Maybe you just take these 2 nodes and then dip. We'll have to see, but that is for another time. After that, I take one of the new clusters here, Massing Forces. Your maps which contain unstable breaches have a 10% chance to contain 2 additional unstable, and the small nodes also have something similar. It's like, these are okay nodes. They're right here, so why not? Next up, I'm actually going up and I'm grabbing Fecund Colony. Actually,
Fecund.
Feekend, my bad. There you go. But I take this for the extra chance to contain additional Womb Gift, which seems pretty strong. After that, I'm going to go for Violent Skirmish for the faster, and then I'm going to grab Fortified Dominance for the extra chance for Breach bosses to be duplicated. I don't think the Breach bosses are going to be harder than last league, but I guess it is possible. So maybe hold out on this if they did some balance changes there. After that, I will go straight up to Swelling Ranks, which just gives you extra pack size, extra quantity of Womb Gifts. I don't see any reason not to take it. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is path through the left side here, because these are different pathing nodes. Womb Gifts have a chance to be Ancient. I think is going to be better than chance to be Provisioning, Lavish, or Mysterious. Although, if the rare gear is incredible early on, you might also go for Provisioning. But I think having the chance to get a big ticket unique is better. Now, even before that, you also want to take Broken Border, which I actually forgot. Just extra chance to contain breaches, and you're just going to try to get to 100% breaches with some extra magic monsters, rare monsters. This should give you extra Hive Blood. So now we can see in the overview all the breach trees. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees they've implemented. So they're really trying to get you into this juicing. The question is going to be, did they strip it down to be really bad baseline and then you have to spec into 1,000,000 points? Or is this actually going to turn out to be quite strong? That's something we'll have to figure out. After this, though, I am personally going to start grabbing some altars. And I really like red altars at the start, so I'm going to portal over and I'm going to grab the Word of the Exarch and also Light of Dawn, and most likely Wrath of the Cosmos, although this is going to make your maps a lot harder, so we'll have to see about that. Afterwards, now we don't know exactly how the Mirage mechanic will work, but I have a feeling that blocking is going to be OP. Now imagine this scenario, you want your Mirage to spawn next to your Breach, and it has a affinity towards map mechanics and spawning next to it, but then some random stuff spawns into your map that you don't want. Honestly, I think this might be the meta. You block everything but Breach. If this turns out to not be true, I'll talk about it in my day 1 update. But yeah, this sounds pretty logical to me, where now it can only spawn on your boss or on the Breach. So yeah, that's about that. Now, I want to make this clear. There's a good chance that doing this like Hive stuff is actually better. It might be. But like I said, this gives definitely better XP. Doesn't take all day, right? You also want to progress. You're making a little bit of currency on the side. You're getting a little bit of gear. So yeah, this video might obviously age poorly. And in the end, the most clunky thing will be the best thing. And then I'm never going to touch Breach personally. But I think that unstable breaches will be a good source of early gear. In terms of Scarabs, some of these look good, but we don't know how rare they are, so it's impossible to say which of them are actually worth using. I will point out that the normal one, the Breach Scarab of the Snares, gives you 2 unstable breaches, which is quite strong relatively to what the tree gives you, which is around about 1.5 or so. That's pretty huge. So if these are common, as a lot of the other ones are, and they cost like 1-2 chaos, it's probably going to be worth throwing in here or there. What I want to know is, if you spawn multiple unstable breaches, how well is the Mirage going to position? How good is the Mirage with it? So yeah, at this point, we're in complete nowhere territory, but this is kind of the outline that I'm going to follow and at least try. But yeah, with that said, that's all I got. This is going to be my last video before the league starts. I wish everybody a happy league start, whatever you're playing. I can't wait for Mirage and to try out the new endgame and make some content on it as well, obviously. It's going to be a fun one. And see you guys on the other side, since I still don't have a slogan. See you next time.